Hi, I'm Mark Rushka. Welcome to my 8th video that attempts to explain the existence of an advanced ancient white culture that trekked to the middle of the North American continent over 13 millennia ago. I'm showing their existence through their microlithic abstract art, but rather than showing it through the numerous, much smaller pieces that I found where I live near Ulysses, Nebraska, and from where I figured out their very existence, I'm going to show you a much larger artwork that was picked up at the Spanish diggings in east central Wyoming just a year ago. In the last video, I showed a storytelling eating utensil artwork that had the bucking milk cow epic folklore tale incorporated into it. While that artwork's interpretation is still fresh in your mind's eye, I'm going to show you another one to reinforce that repetitive theme, or epic folklore tale. In the last video, we focused on the attacking lioness. In this video, we're going to get to see one of the attacking male lions of a pair of rogue male lions that isn't in the exact same position as the lioness was in that previous video. In other words, we'll be able to see him chasing after the bucking and spinning milk cow's bellowing and snorting snout as she spins in a counterclockwise circle, just like the lioness was in that previous video. She chased the bucking and spinning milk cow's bellowing and snorting snout, while the infant, who was strapped to a backboard carry and slung over her left shoulder, flopped wildly out of helpless mom and dad's reach. As usual, I'm going to start out by showing line sketch illustrations from my second book, Reflections from the Pleistocene. This will help place that imagery into your mind's eye before I show you the artwork. This is one example, but this is when the lioness is on the bucking milk cow's back and not chasing and biting at her snout. This video will be about another male lion trying to bite at the snout. Here's another example to put it in your mind's eye, except in this one, it's a saber-toothed cat that's jumping up on the bucking milk cow's rear end. What I'm going to do is use the same imagery line sketch imagery that I drew from this after I did the Spanish digging pieces. Here's the artwork. It's the same kind of highly polished, heat-treated stone that laid on top the wind-blown ground at the Spanish diggings for who knows how long, at least 13 millennia. It is a tool because it has a napped edge. So it's a knife scraper eating utensil tool. You can scrape with it. But it doesn't have a very distinctive knife edge. Just a nice size tool. Now for the artwork. You're looking at the close-up image. I say optical and cognitive illusion close-up image, or statuesque image, of Mom Herdswoman. That's the left side of her head. Find my pointer. So that's the left side of her head. She has a bonnet on, but she's also got a hood over her bonnet. That's the edge of it. There's her nose, her left eye, her right eye, and she's just stunned. If you cover all this up and just she's looking across at Dad, and they're both helpless and stunned. So imagine there's Dad, but now imagine Dad reflecting off of her below her nose down to her chin. That's Dad's eye, nose, shut mouth. He has just expressed he's shocked, dumbfounded, and that's his chin. I could zoom in and show you that a little better. he's actually reflecting off of mom. They're both looking at each other. Get this better here. So they should both be at odds with their infant because they're helpless. They can't do anything to save him while he flops wildly on the left shoulder of the bucking milk cow. So that means the infant's face would be inverted to mom's and dad's faces or heads. So if we simply keep your eyes on the front of her face. She morphs into the infant's head. He's had a onesie hood over his head. That's the right side of his onesie hood. There's this open, screaming mouth. I'll get closer. This is open, screaming mouth, his chin, his pug nose, left eye, right eye. And right in the middle of his forehead, that bright white thing that's rubbed out, is this. That's mom's face. This is all her right here. All the way down to here. That's her. That's her shoulder, her arms. That's her the whole front right side of her, exactly like this. You can probably zoom into that. See it a little better. Just look at his face though. You can even see his flared nostrils. There's this right nostril, left nostril, pug nose, left eye, right eye, open mouth, open screaming mouth, baby chin. Keep your eyes on him. He's flopping wildly, like this on that shoulder. And there's mom and dad. So, the way you just saw their inverted opposing heads because they were at odds with each other. But we will also see that he's also an opposing head to mom's head. They're sharing one side of their heads. In other words, if we wanted to see the right side of mom's face as she turns and follows the bucking milk cow around, or as she turns and looks towards dad, the right side of her head morphs into the extremely close-up image of the right side view of her infant's face and head. Now his onesie hood came off, and there's his baby bonnet top. That's how I know he's a boy. There's his right eye, his pug nose, his open mouth, his chin. And to verify that that is him right there, all we got to do is find the reflection of the left side of the bucking milk cow's head as she tosses her head violently towards him when she tries to get it away from the male line that's trying to bite at her snout. That is the bucking milk cow's flopping left ear. It's a reflection off the side of his face, the right side of his face. This is her front of her face. She's moving. It's a motion image. This is this. That flared nostril is that flared nostril. That's the bucking milk cow's cream-colored muzzle, bovine muzzle, right nostril, left nostril. She's reflecting off of the right side of his face, his baby face. There's actually, so that lion, that male lion's image right there on the back end of that bucking milk cow, it's as if you could see past her head here and see past her to see that head. You're seeing the left side of there's his nose, his open mouth is right here. That's his squinting left eye. That's his mane. front of his mane. He's up on the rear end of the bill cow, biting down into her spine. You're actually seeing it right there in one image. Now watch. Opposing this lion's head and the bucking milk cow's snout on the opposite side of its head. In other words, if I go flip it to go see the other side, we actually see that muzzle again. It's further away. There's the right nostril, left nostril. I'm gonna have to zoom in on it. Let me try this. So if I turn it like this, it's the same. There's the bucking male cow's. Her mouth is shut this time. That's her chin. That's her mouth. That's her left nostril and her right nostril. Same cream color. I'm going to pull back. And I'm going to take a step back. And I'm going to hold it. This right here is a rubbed off stub end. That's on the edge of that knife, but it's rubbed off. Because it's a stub end, I'm going to just let it sit on my thumb. It's the stub end of that male lion's right leg right there. That you are looking at the combined optical and cognitive illusion front right side view of that attacking male lion who looks just like this. Only it's a male lion, not the lioness. He's turning just like this. You're seeing down the right side of him while he banks hard with that extended right front foreleg. That's his right shoulder. You're looking down his body. That's his rear end back here. There's his right hip. And this is his mane. That from this angle, when you first see him, there's his left eye, his right lion eye, and this dark is his nose. And that's his rubbed out right ear. But as you turn him, as he's chasing the bucking milk cow's snout, that ear goes to over here. And you see a different image of him. Just like you could almost call that his right eye. But from right there, you see him, a perfect image, combined optical and cognitive illusion, almost statuesque image of him. But you have to see the cognitive illusion imagery because that's a front flat face that the artist rubbed down. It's concave. The artist rubbed down, preserved his dark nose just to get those eyes and that front of his face and the skin that looks like lion skin. And to get that muzzle. He is clamped down. He's bit. He's biting. He's chomping down on the whole muzzle right here with the muzzle sticking out of his mouth. There's the bucking milk cow's closed mouth, tightly closed mouth because he's smashing it together. There's her chin and there's her flared right nostril, left nostril. So she's twisted like that while he's biting down on it. I definitely want you to see this. So I'll just try to hold it still. Can't keep from shaking. And we'll try it like that. Now do you see the cow's muzzle? When we turn it upright, it's the bottom of her chin. I'm going to go back out. It's upside down. There's her closer up muzzle. That all you got to do, and that's the infant with her reflecting off of it, and the male lying back there, just like that. Biting, his mouth is wide open. He's biting the top of her spine flip it, and he's an opposing head to his other compatriot, partner in crime. They're basically about two rogue male lions. Right there. There he is. They're on opposite sides of their opposing heads are on opposite sides of each other, attacking the bucking male cow together. They're literally sharing the backs of their bodies and their heads, because they're in each other's heads, both knowing what they're doing. This infant is just amazing. Mom's close-up image. Just keep your eye on him. He just morphs into her. Morphs into Dad. It just is what it is.